chasing dreams. It was a secret I wanted to keep. I didn't want the popularity. Refused to be like the majority. Oh Lord, have all the mercy. I would have been so overwhelmed if I came here by myself. As you guys can see, I was extremely overwhelmed from the time that I walked into the property. It was tons and tons of parts and bikes everywhere in the front. However, I had no idea what was to come and that there was way more in the back. So as I entered the warehouse, I noticed that there was no air circulating. We did go during the summertime, so it was fairly warm. Prepare for that. There was no AC circulating, so the only air that you got was from that fan. When I first walked in, I noticed that there were boxes behind the counters. I'm assuming that's for the attendants to be able to decipher which parts are what and where they are located. However, to me, looking at it, it just looked like a lot. What I can say, honestly, is that the attendants were very nice and attentive, considering they were short-staffed. There wasn't that many of them, but it was a lot of people that were coming in. There was a mixture of new parts and used parts. Some of the new parts were for older models, which I found quite interesting. I saw some parts that were labeled for bikes that were like 1980, 1990, 2000s, but they were brand new parts. So that was pretty cool to see. Everything was organized chaos, I guess. The attendants know where everything is, but for someone like me that's completely ignorant, never been there before, I didn't know where anything was. However, they had everything you can possibly imagine to assemble a bike at this place. You could build a bike from the ground up. I assure you that 1,000%. And I'm curious to know if someone actually built the bike from all the parts that were here. This is a used motorcycle parts place. The parts are for sale. However, they are extremely cost efficient. You will see at the end of the video how much I paid for my parts, and I only bought 2 of them. They had gas tanks, exhaust systems, wiring harnesses, tires. A majority of them were new. They had oil for the bike. They had gas tanks, mirrors, tail lights, brake lights, anything that you could possibly imagine for a motorcycle, they had it. I was overwhelmed but extremely impressed at the same time. But I must admit, if I had have gone by myself, I probably would have left out immediately. I was just too overwhelmed and my patience grew. And I'm naturally a patient person, but because I was so overwhelmed, I was like, stick a fork in me. I am done. So I am so thankful to have someone who is more well-versed in motorcycles and were familiar with the parts that we were looking for and was able to ask the attendant what it is that we needed, because I was completely ignorant to the proper names of the parts were called, and I was mixing up names and such when my friend was asking me to look up parts on the internet. I was just getting everything all messed up. However, I can say that my friend forced me to learn some things. Although I really don't care to learn, I just want to ride my bike and go. But this experience with my bike being down has been very, very humbling for me. And it's also been a learning lesson. And I can say, ladies and gentlemen, but especially ladies, we do have the luxury of having other people do things for us, but it's nothing like being independent and learning things for ourselves so that we are able to be a little bit more sufficient when it comes to different things. And that's just in life. However, I will tell you, even after this experience and my bike being down, ultimately I want a new bike that has a warranty on it. I'm claiming that for the future. Meanwhile, I am going to invest in the parts that I need to invest in so that ultimately I have 2 to 3 bikes. So if one goes down, it doesn't stop my flow and I'm continuing to ride. Because now I only have 1 bike now. And once it's down until I can get it back up. So that's a future goal. I will say that I'm very thankful to have my friend go with me and teach me the ropes, although I don't really want to hear it, but I am thankful. So thank you, Camp. I appreciate you. Anyways, let's continue with this video. Later that day, we decided to install the part.
So, get a little more slack on this thing. Motherfuckers gonna be on there like, hey, you can't be doing it like that. Let me shut that up. So you got your burnt section, so we're gonna cut that off. Cut it back here. Then I just match the other ones with that. Let's go.
So how do you connect them?
So I have to strip them, like pull the rubber insulation off of them to expose the actual wires. Butt connectors. And that's for the purpose of connecting wires like that. Yeah. Otherwise I have to like just tie them together. Put
And here is the finished product. Alright, so today, as you can see, we went to Bob's Motorcycle. We ended up finding a part, installing the part. Now we are just waiting for my battery to charge. So we shall see. All to herself. She don't share with nobody else. Keep going. She just wants. So after letting my battery charge on my personal charger, I discovered that it would not keep a charge at all. So I ended up taking it to Advanced Auto Parts. They tested my battery and determined that the battery would not charge and it was no good. So I ended up purchasing a battery at Advanced Auto Parts, which they so happen to have for my make and model bike. And here you see me trying to install the battery. Guess what happens next? Right here it says positive and negative. Positive and negative. So my bike will not start. I'm checking and making sure all my wires are fully connected. Positive is positive, negative is negative. And I discovered that the sticker is still on that says please remove before usage. So I remove it. So I'm ready to start my bike and everything. And I noticed that this was on here, but I didn't pay no attention. So I installed the bike right, but it still has this on here. So I take this off and I'm like, what the hell is this? It was this box. And I saw the box, but I didn't pay no attention to the box. I thought maybe it was some manual instructions or something in here. But it says an acid pack. So I open it and I see this. What is this? So now I have to read the directions and figure out what this is so that I can start my bike. I am so disappointed. I thought it was a plug and go. I am so disappointed. Now I have to get ready for work, which means that I have no time at all whatsoever to read the directions and figure this out. This is why being single is whack. First of all, anyways, I gotta go. See y'all later. I hope y'all have a better start to your Sunday. I hope that my Sunday gets better because I am so disappointed right now. I'm over it. Anyways, gotta go. Talk to y'all later. Peace.